Swastiastu. Hello guys, please let me introduce myself. My name is Prayoga, and in this time I would like to talking about the classroom management, discipline, and also the uh, reinforcement reinforcement of the English young learner, which is the first one. I'd like to talking about the classroom management, which is based on Richard's perception. Classroom management is referring to the ways of student behavior and interaction, and also the movement in a class, which is it's being controlled and organized by the teacher. It is simple, can be defined as the competences of teacher in managing how their class is going, and teachers should be able to consider about several things before they starting the lesson, which is the first one is creating an effective learning environment. The second one is creating the established procedure, and the third one is creating an attractive class atmosphere, and the fourth one is make every minute count, and the last one is engaging the student, which is all of them has important meaning and also important role. And the next is, let me talking about the discipline. So what is discipline? Based on Greenwood and Parkey 1989, discipline is an action to maintain order and keep the group on the task and moving ahead, not to spot and punish the student who are missing behaving. Disciplines also can be defined as a two kind, which is the first one is positive discipline, and then the second one is the negative discipline. Those are have their role, which is the positive discipline can be described as a technique that will help teacher maintain a positive atmosphere and support an inclusive learning environment. Positive discipline is also used to help students learn a new behavior that meet expectation in classroom. Not only in classroom but also in home or everywhere else. So here is also some benefit of implementing the positive discipline in the class, which is students show respect for the teacher, and the second one is students are on the task and engaged. It means they are focused on the task. And next is less disciplinary measure and needed. The fourth one is forward suspension and expulsion. Next is students see rules as a fair. The sixth one is attendance improves as how they love to learn and how the atmosphere is going. These learner being motivated. And then the next is create individual plan for student. This is mean like the benefit impacting the teacher. And then the next is use praise model appropriate behavior. It's about our strategies. And the next is provide student with a different choice. This also means like the strategies and the choices that we gonna give to the student to their ways of learning. The next is remove object in environment that cause distraction. It's mean like we are assess the right method of teaching and learning process. And also this affecting the benefit also can make us easier or not easier and having a good relation to the student. And the next is negative discipline. So here's the definition about the negative discipline, which is according to dictionary.com, negative discipline can be described as the punishment as well and denounce a child's behavior. This also known as a punishment, which is all of us have known already. And when a child is correcting in front of other children, or even sent to the office, or even yelled that they are receiving attention that they crave. This also can be said as, or it's similar with the negative reinforcement, which is like the punishment, and can make student feel angry sometimes and ashamed, because student may get the message that they are the problem rather than the behavior, which is, in my opinion, the use of this discipline, them both have their role, but in young learner, the positive discipline is the best way to encourage the misbehavior for young learner, despite all of definition and misunderstand about the differences of discipline and punishment. So in my opinion, by using the positive discipline, teacher might know about the student perception and the reason of their misbehavior. This also might be affect to the relation between the teacher and young learner. Alright, next is reinforcement. Sorry. So I got this definition, which is reinforcement is used to help and increase the probability that a specific behavior and also will occur in the future by delivering or removing stimulus immediately after a behavior. And also another way to put it is that reinforcement, if it done correctly, result in a behavior occurring more frequently in future. So there are two kind of reinforcement, which is they consist of, the first one is positive reinforcement, and then the next one is negative reinforcement. So the positive reinforcement work by presenting a motivation or reinforcing stimulus to the person after desired behavior is exhibited, and also making the behavior more likely to happen in future. For the example of the positive reinforcement is, mother give her son praise as a reinforcing stimulus for doing homework. It means like they are given something to doing homework. And then the next one is negative reinforcement, which is negative reinforcement occur to the certain stimulus or usually an aversive stimulus. It is removed after particular behavior is exhibited. The likelihood of particular behavior occurs again in the future in increasing because of removing and or avoiding the negative consequence. Negative reinforcement should not be taught as the punishment procedure, and also with the negative reinforcement, we as a teacher may increasing the knowledge and also may know about the behavior, which is the different which is we may differentiate between the punishment and the reinforcement. And here's some example of the negative reinforcement, such as Bob does this as a behavior in order to stop his mother's nagging as the aversive stimulus. And then the next is my opinion about them both. So in my opinion, them both are having their own role in learning process, but the most effective ways when we talk about implementation in young learner, that would be referring to positive reinforcement, which in range of age for young learner are mostly motivated when they got something when doing a task. Alright, so the next is about the relation between the classroom management, disciplines, and also the reinforcement. So based on what we have talking about in the previous subject or previous slide, the relationship among the classroom management, discipline, and reinforcement are related one another, and by implementing the discipline, whether it is positive or negative or affected to the classroom management. And when we're talking about the positive discipline that implemented in classroom, that would be a huge effect to the teacher and also the student motivation, which is by implementing this positive discipline, there will be a lot of the benefit that might increase and develop many aspects in classroom, including the teacher knowledge and also the student motivation, and also the relation between reinforcement also taking role in increasing learners behavior, which is it will be affected to the teaching and learning process in classroom management. So everything take their part as the role in the teaching and learning process. Alright, so that's all about my presentation. Thank you for your nice attention. Last but not least, I want to say thank you and close this presentation with Parma Santi Om. Santi 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 Om.